Hi guys, this is Crafty Cat. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. So this is not the normal kind of video. I am speaking to you from editing, and that is because my family was in the background talking all through this video. So I just decided that I would try to do the talking. So anyway, as you can see, I'm showing some cards and envelopes. I have decided that I want to do a birthday card for my mom for her birthday. So first I went on YouTube and I watched dozens and dozens of amazing tutorials. Most of them seemed way out of my league. I'm not there yet as a beginner, but I did find inspiration from these following ones. I loved this candle card by Ellen Cremimi Trent, artist on YouTube. I thought it was really nice. I loved the colors. I liked everything about this. And I found a similar one by the Happy Ever Crafter, also on YouTube. And I absolutely love this one. The really bold colors just really drew me in. This one was fantastic. And I love the wonky candles. I also love this happy birthday candle card by Julie Liss Artist, or Julie Liss Art on YouTube. And I think this one also influenced me. And as did her other one. This is also by Julie Liss Art, this Happy Birthday Cake. So I think all of these influenced me to some extent, but I didn't follow any of these tutorials. I just watched them the week prior and then kind of did my own thing, but heavily influenced by these people. As I record this, it is my mom's 79th birthday. So this was this afternoon, and these are cards that I bought at the dollar store. So I wanted to do a simple watercolor card, but you can't paint on the watercolor cards. So here I'm showing you that I accidentally got pencil on the inside of the watercolor card, and they're not folded properly. I did fold exactly on the line, but yeah. But you know what? It's a nice card. It has an envelope, and I was going to give it a go. So the first thing I did was I got a scrap piece of watercolor paper, the Canson watercolor paper, and I cut it up into little pieces, and also my new cheap watercolor paper from the dollar store. So that is the scrap one, and there's also the bigger sheets are from the dollar store. So I'm just looking at the two different piles, and I cut each sheet of paper into four smaller papers to cover the card, and I have a little X-Acto cutter that I use to cut them, so they're pretty good sizes. So here we have the watercolor paper from the dollar store. This was $3 for 20 sheets. I'm going to show you the price in a second here. And it is Artist Series, and it's 300 ounces. I don't know. I don't know how to read that. 300 grams, I think. So anyway, and what I had planned to do, like I said, was to cut the papers and to glue them onto the card. So I just had to decide whether I was going to use the watercolor paper or the other paper. And I'm going to show you the other paper shortly. And I'm wearing short sleeves because I always get my sleeves in the paint when I paint. So here is the Canson watercolor paper. So like I told you, I have one sheet of Canson. That's the XL, and that is from Michaels. That costs a little bit more. But it's nice because you get 30 sheets in a booklet. It's 7 by 10 inches, and it's also 300 grams. So now I just had to decide which paper to use, and there's the two piles. So here I am looking at the card from the dollar store, and I'm looking at the little squares, and I'm putting the Canson paper on and flipping it over to see if it looks okay. And now I'm showing you that this is not folded properly, even though I folded it on the line. One side is bigger than the other, and I'm trying to decide which watercolor sheet to use. This one will give a little border all around, but I'm not sure if I want that because it's not even. So now I'm looking at the bigger sheet, which might cover the imperfection in the fold. And I think I've decided to go with the bigger sheet because of the way it was folded where it's showing. Yeah, and now I'm showing you that I did fold on the line, but because it's dollar store stuff, it's just not even. So what can you do? So we're going to go with the bigger sheet, so I will be testing out the dollar store paper. All right, so now I'm just getting some paper towel to put down. I'm using my new mat that I got at the Dollar Tree. Isn't it pretty? But I don't want to get paint even though it was only a couple dollars. I do like this little mat. It's so pretty. And I'm putting the extra cards away now that I've selected one, and the dollar store one did win because I really don't know what I'm doing, guys. This is not a tutorial. I'm just showing you as a newbie what I'm doing to try to make a very, very simple card for my mom because she really likes handmade stuff. And now I am getting some water. You'll be seeing that in a minute. This is the new little vase that I got at the dollar store. I really like it. It is just so cute, and the beveled edges are perfect, or I think they'll be perfect for putting the paintbrushes on if I decide to do that. I'm just showing you how cute this is. And I'm showing you one of the paintbrushes, and I am resting it on the edge, and it fits perfectly, although it's slightly off camera. But that's exactly why I bought that vase, and I'm so happy. And I've got another napkin just to hold in my hand for wiping the brushes with. And these are some of the brushes that I've decided to use, and you'll see why in a little while. Now we're going to put this water away to make room on the table for the paint. And I'm trying to decide which paint to use. I've got lots of different watercolor sets now, but I have decided to go with this one. This is the Meliang paint. It's got the little parrot on the top. I think it used to be called Pretty Excellent paint, or it's the same. There are 48 colors, and we did do swatching on the channel. So if you didn't see that and you're interested, go back and check that out. But these have really beautiful colors. And the last row, the closest row to the brush, is metallic paint, which is why I wanted to use this paint today. So I'm just going to get my spray bottle and spray it because watercolor paint has to be activated with water for it to work. So I'm giving it a really good spray down. Then I decided to use masking tape at the bottom and at the top just to help me make straighter lines. I will be moving this masking tape later. I'm just not really exactly sure what I want to do. I have a general idea that I want to make a very simple line kind of drawing, just very simple, but I'm still not quite sure how I want it to look. So I'm putting tape down, but I will be moving it later. Now that I've got some tape down, I'm just putting the paper down on the paper towel, and I'm using my flat brush in that size. And I'm just trying to angle it and get some water on the brush and choose a color. And it's all just kind of overwhelming because even though I looked at a lot of different videos, I'm not following a video. I just have a general idea of what I'm doing, but it's just basically something that I just wanted to try out. So now the first color I'm going into is this beautiful pink, but I think I decide against it because that's a metallic color and I wanted to save those for the candles. So now I am just testing out it, and I think at this point I'm realizing it's metallic, and I'm thinking, no, maybe better not do metallic. It's a beautiful color though, and I'm just looking at it thinking, yeah, that'd be really nice for the candles later, because I would just want to do a very, very simple uh, cake with candles. So now I've decided to go into this other reddish color. It needed more water, even though I put tons of water. These are very thirsty paints. They need a lot of water, I find anyway. So we'll just added a little bit more water. And we're dipping in, and I'm feeling really nervous at this point. And you guys, this is not a tutorial. If anything, this is probably don't do it this way. But I did want to record it. I just thought it might be fun to put it out on the channel if you're interested in learning new things too. Because we don't have to be perfect when we're learning new things, right? It's just all about the trying and the doing. So now, see, I'm hesitating, but I'm finally putting the brush on the paper very slowly, and I'm just drawing against that masking tape at the bottom, and I'm not trying to do a straight line at the top. I want it a little bit wonky. I'm basically at this point just using the masking tape to block off where I want the cake to be. So I'm going right across with that color. And I'm going to do it again because I do not want it straight at the top. I want like a wonky line. Now I'm showing you how shaky my hands are because that's how nervous I was doing this. Plus, I've been taking my Ventolin a lot because my asthma's been bad and that makes me shake. And now we're coming in with the second color, and I'm sorry you couldn't see me put my brush in the color. It was just slightly off the edge of the camera. But we're going with the second color now. I'm taking my time, and I want that wonky white edge in between the two colors. So I'm just looking to see if I'm satisfied with that color or if it needs a little bit more. I think I decided to add a little bit more. And I'm going with a lighter color now on top because I've decided it's too similar to the first color, and I'm just dabbing some orange in, but it's not really spreading because this is the dollar store paper. So now I'm just going over it with my brush. And I'm adding a little bit more of the orange and just changing that color to a more orangey red instead of just the red color. Now I'm deciding to go with a lighter orange color for the next color. And here we go. And I'm making sure to keep a little white line in between the colors too. So these will eventually be the layers of a cake. And that is not dark enough, so I'm going with more. And I think I went with a darker orange instead of the lighter orange. I'm just trying to get like an orangey color here. And I'm really loving the bright, vibrant colors of this Meliang watercolor set. It's just so beautiful. And you know, even though the dollar store paper doesn't act like regular watercolor paper, I googled that I can still use it for acrylic, and for little cards and stuff, it's working fine for what I'm using it for. I mean, it doesn't blend perfectly like the other papers. Now I'm moving that tape because I've decided I want to go higher. And now I am zooming the camera in a little bit and deciding, should I do this or not? All right, so we're coming in with another color. And this one is running out of color fast. You can see it's really bright on the one side and light, so I have to go over it with more paint. This is a very thirsty paint. It loses the water really quickly. So I'm just going over it a few times and really loving those bright, vibrant colors. Just making it a little bit thicker. I'm checking it out. And I'm taking the bottom tape off because I've decided I want to go a little bit lower. Now I'm just looking at it and deciding I want one more row on the bottom, like I said, but I think I need the tape to just show me where I want it, so I'm just messing around and placing the tape. Now I'm just going in with the last color at the bottom. Really pretty red color. Just going to add some more. Even it out a bit. And I've decided it needs even more color. So I'm just slowly going over that line, making it a little bit thicker. I want that wonky white line in between. Now I'm turning it to see if I like it. And now I'm putting another piece of tape down for the top of the candles. I'm not sure if I need it or not at this point, but I decided it wouldn't hurt to try. I'm deciding maybe that's how high I want the candles to go. So yeah. And here I am showing you the brush I'm going to use, but first we're turning the whole thing upside down to draw the candles because I read somewhere that it's easier to paint when you're pulling the brush toward you instead of pushing it away from you. So I'm seeing if I like drawing the candles upside down. So we're doing a few of the sparkly blue ones. These are the metallic blues upside down. So I have one on the edge, and now I'm doing one in the middle, and we're doing one on the other edge, and I'm using my smaller brush for the candles. And now I'm turning it right side up to see how I like it. And I've decided, that's kind of a wonky candle. Let's try to see if we can make it a little bit thicker. So we're going over that one. And at some point, I've decided they don't need to be perfect. They can be wobbly. It might be more charming if they're all wobbly. So I've decided, yeah, that's just fine. So now we're going with a metallic green color and the small brush. I'm tilting it again. And I'm deciding, where do I want these candles? So just coming up a little bit. I'm sorry if you can hear a skidoo outside. There's someone skidooing up and down the road. My window is closed, so hopefully you can't hear it. We're doing another green one. I really love these metallic paints. They're so pretty. And another wonky candle. I want them kind of bent and not perfect. And I'm looking to see if that's good. And I'm taking the tape off because I'm not sure if that's how high I want them or if I want them higher. At this point, I was assuming I'd write happy birthday at the very top, and I still need room for the flame. So I've decided that is high enough and that we'll go with that. And that I probably don't need the tape to do the rest of the candles. So after cleaning my brush, I'm going into the metallic pink. And we're going to try to draw some pink candles. And now I'm going from the top down, just kind of freehanding it without the tape. I decided that's fine, but I need it a little bit darker. And I'm just really, really enjoying the metallic colors. They're perfect for the candles. So here we go with another pink candle. I'm just going to go over it again to get more saturation. And again. And I'm really liking the addition of the pink candles with the blue because it matches like with the pink in the cake. And now I think I'm just washing my brush, and I want to go into that red on the top, but that red on the top is really, really watery. So I was really concerned about it, but it worked out fine. That metallic red, like a pinky red. So now I'm just, I keep dipping the brush and then wiping it and dipping it because that pool of water was super wet. So I've got scared again. So I'm going with a different red now. And just adding a little candle here. I'm liking the way that looks, but we need more color. And I don't want to go too deep into the top layer. And now one more candle on the cake. Because I just wanted all of these colors and I want it to look really crowded. In real life, we only use one big red candle, like a giant candle on every cake. But for this card, I wanted just lots of colors and just lines. Just something very simple but pretty. It's taking me much longer than it should have, but my hands were shaky. But you know what? I was still having fun, and that's the whole, like the point of it, other than to get the finished card. I did buy backup cards for my mom, so if this wouldn't have turned out, I still did have a card for her. After waiting for it to dry a bit, I'm picking it up to get a closer look at it. I'm taking the tape off the bottom to see how it looks, to see if I like what I have so far. I still have to do the flames, but I didn't want to smudge my hand on the metallic candles, so I had to wait for it to dry a little bit. I'm liking what I see so far. And now it's time to work on the flames for the candles. So I'm using a metallic yellow color and a very pointy small brush. Um, I think that's like a liner brush or a round brush. I can't remember. And I'm voicing over and editing, but I'm just showing you the tip, and I'm just slowly going in to draw the tips here of the flames. And I want them all a little bit different, but I want them all to be rounder at the bottom with a slight point at the top. So that's what I was going for. And I'm just kind of doing it freehand. And let me see if I could bring you in closer so you could see what I'm doing. All right, so through the joys of editing, I have zoomed in more so we could see me painting these little flames. Like I said, they're just really simple. They're like little round balls at the bottom with a little point at the top. And I want the little tips to kind of point in different directions. I want some to be a little bit bigger than others. I just want to go for the whimsical, wonky kind of look. And I'm really, really loving this metallic yellow paint. It is so pretty. So we're just painting these. And yeah, the metallic paints in this set are just lovely. So we're working on our 7th flame right now with 4 more to go. There's flame number 8. I'm just checking them because I like that wonkiness. I like that the flames aren't like exactly perfect. I like the wonkiness of the white lines in between the layers. I'm enjoying the bright colors. You guys, I'm a newbie. I'm probably making a million mistakes, but so far I was happy with how this was looking. And there's the last flame. Now I'm adding just a little dab of the orange red metallic paint at the base of every flame to just kind of get that flame effect. I'm just kind of dotting it in there, but because the yellow is still wet, it's spreading nicely. I don't know if you could see that. Considering this is dollar store paint paper, it's not the best, but it is spreading. So I'm just adding a little bit more here and there because I enjoy watching it spread up. So it is giving it that nice little flame effect. I'm trying to attach it to the candles in some places. I'm just bringing it a little bit closer to show you. And here we have it. I'm showing you a little bit closer up. I'm very happy with the way the candles and the flames turned out and the cake itself. Now I'm looking at it again, wondering what else can I add. I really wanted to add a little bit more of the metallics to it. So I'm thinking maybe I can use those white spots where there's icing and put some white metallic paint. I don't know how that will look, but I think we're going to give it a shot. Because I just remember thinking it needs a little bit of more of that metallic. So I did wait for it to dry, but I was still worried it might be a little bit wet. But now we're going over it with the metallic paint to see how I like it, where the icing is in between the layers. And I'm liking it, so we're just going to do that on all of the different lines. This metallic paint needed more water. It was really hard to lay it down nicely. But I did like the effect where it was slightly overlapping. And it just did add that little bit of sparkle that it needed and just tied everything together a little bit better. So now we're doing the last layer with the white paint, and I should have just added more water because I was struggling to lay the paint down at this point. But I also didn't want to add more water because I was rushing to get this done because my dad had gone out for Chinese food and I knew he'd be home any minute, and I still had to get downstairs and get this done in time, and I still wasn't done. So now I'm just adding a little bit of that metallic to the top at the base of the candles, and I'm just showing you how it looks. And about here, I've decided I don't like the cake just floating in the air, so we're going to add some gold metallic to the bottom as a plate. So that was my idea, just a very thin little plate at the bottom. I could have filled the whole thing in and made it like a platter, but I thought just the little thin line would be nice because if I filled it up, it would be the same thickness as the layers of the cake, and I thought the thin line would be nice, just like a thin metal plate. So that's what I was doing, and I'm taking my time and trying to spread it because the uh, the water had already soaked in quite a bit on these colors. But I was really enjoying. This is more like a bronze than a gold, I think. The bronze I chose. But I was really liking how it looked here. So here I'm just picking it up for a closer look to decide if I need to add anything else. I was thinking about sprinkles, but then I thought that might be too much. I did like the way this looked, so I decided I just need to let it dry. All right, so after blow drying it, it was nice and dry, although the paper did warp a bit after blow drying, and I've got my fine liners out that I bought from the Ohuhu store on Amazon, and I haven't tried them yet. So I'm just going to move stuff around and pick a pen so that we can write on this. So I decided to go with the biggest of the fine liners, and I'm just showing it to you here. This is from the Ohuhu store. And now this is very, very bumpy paper, and I am not the best at handwriting at the best of time, but I'm going to do my best on this. I'm just deciding where I want it to write Happy Birthday Mom. I was originally going to write it at the top, but at this point I thought it might be cuter to write on the layers of the cake itself. So I'm just taking a look to decide where I want to put the lettering. And I'm counting the candles to see if I want to write happy birthday and write the word birthday above the candles or not. But no, I've decided the layers were the best bet. I'm just kind of deciding where I should start. I'm kind of scared to start because I'm such a newbie at this. And this is super bumpy paper, and it is very hard to write neatly because the bumps are weird. And the pen just kind of falls on the paper. If I were better at painting, I think it would have been easier to paint on the lines or else to use a brush pen instead of just a regular pen. So if I do it again, I will definitely be using a brush pen so it's not so stiff on the wobbles, if that makes any sense. So I'm just writing happy birthday mom to the best of my ability. A little bit fancy and a little bit plain. I think that's fine. I think it looks cute. And I'm just going to put my pen away. In the meantime, my glue gun is ready to glue the watercolor portion onto the dollar store card. So I'm just getting a thin line of glue and putting it into the corners and along the side so we can glue this down. I'm just pushing the extra glue down into the center and adding a little bit more glue, some in the center. Now that I have enough glue, I'm just going to take the card, make sure I've got the right side, and try to very carefully glue it down so that the watercolor portion is attached to the actual card. So I've got it where I want it, so I am just pushing it down and pushing the glue down. So I'm just making sure all the edges are in there and seeing how I like it. I'm just adding some more extra glue where it needs it. And I think it looks good. But on the inside, I have a pencil line that I accidentally got in there. I don't know how I managed to do that, but no worries because I have a trusty eraser. It's one of those squishy kinds that doesn't leave crumbs all over. I really like this eraser. So we're just going to erase that pencil line quickly. And now the pencil line is gone. So we are good to go. So the outside is looking nice. I'm kind of wishing I would have made the candles taller at this point, but I had originally planned on writing Happy Birthday Mom on the top, but then I changed my mind. You know what? For my first time, I'm still happy with it. So now I'm just looking for a pen to write on the inside. I've decided to go, I think, with a gold pen. I'll be showing you in a second. There it is. I've got a little tray of a little tin with all my special pens, all my metallic pens. So now I'm just going to write to my mom on the inside in the best handwriting that I can manage. So I'm just writing happy birthday, happy 79th birthday, Mom. Love, Kathy. And Smokey. Smokey is my African gray parrot. I've had her since 1990. She will be 33 this year. And I made a little smiley face. And I'm going to write another little message on the inside. I think I'm just writing, have a wonderful day and a wonderful year. And XOXO. And now I have to wait for this gold pen to dry off. And now it's time to get to the envelope. So here we have the envelope that came with this card set. There were only 4 cards in the set. I got at the dollar store quite a while ago. I think they were $1 or $1.25 for the set of 4. I will be ordering, I think, a nice set of cards from Amazon. But I'm just going to be writing Happy Birthday, Mom on the front cover in my gold metallic pen on the front of the envelope. And now I just have to wait for this to dry as well. And while it's drying, I'm going to go get ready for supper. So there we have it, guys. Thank you so much for staying with me through this new type of video for me. I'm a newbie, so please keep that in mind. But thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that like button and subscribe. All of that good stuff. And most importantly of all, take care and stay safe. Bye for now. Happy crafting. Bye, guys.